All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So, in this one, I wanted to quickly give my 2 cents on all of these different Dalvin Cook rumors. Right? There seems to be a lot of internet buzz surrounding Dalvin Cook to the New York Jets. I feel like every time I log on Twitter, I see a new Dalvin Cook Jets thing. Like the Jets have interest. They're a sleeper there. They're definitely interested. That's actually what was reported yesterday from Sports Illustrated. In fact, I actually have the direct quote pulled up from Darren Wolfson here. He said, "A new team that I've heard is definitely interested is the New York Jets. You look at their running back position, Brees Hall, we think will be back by week 1. The Jets have enormous expectations with Aaron Rodgers. Well, they can use an upgrade at the running back position." Now, we haven't really heard anything from a lot of the bigger, more mainstream NFL reporters. I'm talking, the Tom Pelisseros of the world, the Mike Garofolos, the Ian Rappaports, the Albert Breers, the Adam Schefters. We haven't heard much of this at all. In fact, Robert Saleh had a press conference yesterday. Dalvin Cook did not come up in the press conference, although Dalvin Cook is still technically a member of the Vikings. So you can argue, why would a reporter bring that up? You're just going to potentially get your head coach, I guess not his head coach, but the head coach, in trouble if they, catch them slipping up and, talking about a different player on another team, trying to recruit them or spilling the beans, essentially. But Aaron Rodgers, when he was on the Green Bay Packers, that did not stop anybody from, asking Saul about him. So, it could go both ways here. And, I feel like every offseason, there's the one player that's linked to tons of teams. And I feel like this season, it's looking like it's Dalvin Cook. I mean, there's team after team. We can just quickly go through it. So according to Wolfson here, we have the New York Jets that are definitely interested. Supposedly the Cowboys have kicked the tires on Dalvin Cook. The Buffalo Bills is another big standout team. That's the fan base that I feel like is really, really confident in potentially acquiring Dalvin Cook, whether the Vikings go out and release him, which looks likely at this point because the draft is over. I don't know. It's hard to envision a Dalvin Cook trade. You feel like the organization would want to move him, prior to the draft. That way they can recoup some 2023 draft capital to impact the team this season, kind of ramp up the Kevin O'Connell era, right? Get it going in year 2. But in any case, the Buffalo Bills, who else did I say? The New York Jets, the Dallas Cowboys. We have the Miami Dolphins. That's another big team that's kind of floated around with Dalvin Cook. I would say, just taking a guess, that they would probably be the front runner. According to Albert Breer, I believe it was a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, the Dolphins actually tried to trade for Dalvin Cook and it didn't materialize. I believe that was either before the draft or on draft night. It just didn't go through. No details were really released on why things fell apart. But again, according to Breer, the Dolphins have interest. And we know, with this regime with Miami, they kind of act, they act in a similar fashion to the LA Rams, where it's hey, a big player's on the market, Dolphins have interest. If there's an opportunity to upgrade at a specific position, no matter the price tag, we're going to take a look. We're going to at least inquire. It really seems like the Miami Dolphins are extremely trigger happy. We can look at the Jalen Ramsey acquisition. We can look at them going all in for Terran Armstead last season, left tackle from the Saints, Tyreek Hill, trading at the trade deadline for Bradley Chubb. So the Dolphins are extremely aggressive, right? Extremely, extremely aggressive. They're definitely in the mix. You also look at Dalvin Cook being from Miami, playing, college ball or high school ball down there, goes up to Florida State, and you can make that parallel, that connection. So, unfortunately, I do think the Dolphins make a lot of sense. Who else have been linked? The Denver Broncos have been linked to Dalvin Cook. The Atlanta Falcons before the draft were linked to Dalvin Cook. There's a lot of teams, right? There's a lot of teams that are supposedly rumored to be linked to Dalvin Cook here. We'll see how it plays out. I still feel like the Dolphins are the front runner. I think the Bills are probably right there in second place. I did remember seeing, I don't know how legit it was. I don't remember, right now it's not coming to me where this rumor came from. I think it could have even been a Lions thing. But supposedly the Lions on draft night took Gibbs, the running back from Georgia Tech and Alabama, where they did because they were a little concerned with the New York Jets picking behind them, potentially selecting Jahmyr Gibbs. Now that's super interesting because it's like we have Breece Hall coming back from his ACL. It's not like he's going to miss the entire year. We have Bam Knight on the roster. We have Michael Carter on the roster. They just went out and drafted Izzy from Pitt. I don't know if, I mean, those, to me, those are 4 running backs that could definitely contribute to the team next season in 2023. I will say this, Dalvin Cook is one of the best running backs in football. That's not an over-exaggeration. Every year, consistent. Yeah, he's battled with injuries, but, all in all, Dalvin Cook is a pretty darn good running back in football, no doubt about it. Would he come in and be the starting day one? I don't want to say necessarily say upgrade, but would he come in and be the starter over everybody else? I believe yes. I think so. If the Jets are, in that full win now mindset, and they're super aggressive, that we have to go after the big names, which they pretty much have been. A lot of the times this offseason, we saw that with Odell Beckham Jr., we saw that with Calais Campbell. The Jets have been, and even the players that they've brought in. It does seem like there's that added sense of urgency, obviously, because Aaron Rodgers' window is so small here. 39 years old, it is what it is. But I got to be honest, I'm a little shocked to see this. When I think of running back, team need is, that's the last thing I think of. I think about youth. I think about depth. I think about talent. I think about upside, longevity here, impact players from day one. I don't think, man, we got to upgrade this position. And Dalvin Cook is not going to be coming in on a minimum contract. Not in the least. Not in the least. I think Dalvin Cook, because of the amount of suitors here and because of his resume, he's going to command quite a bit of money. I don't think he's going to get, 20 million or something like that. But, it would not surprise me if it's like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, somewhere in that range. A year, I think he's that good. Can the Jets afford that right now? Technically speaking, yes, on paper, because we are sitting right now in 4th place in the NFL in cap space, but we still have to restructure Aaron Rodgers' contract. We're sitting right now in 4th place because Rodgers is technically on the books for just over $1 million. That's going to change. A lot of that 24 will be going to Rodgers in the upcoming restructure. We also have to think about real positions of need, like Quan Alexander at weak side linebacker. Also have to factor in the Quinnen Williams extension, although that doesn't really kick up until next season. So there's a lot of moving parts here. And like I said, there's a lot of just kind of internet buzz and stuff like that. I do somewhat have a hard time seeing Joe Douglas handing out like $10, $11 million to a player where we're already really, really good. At a position that we're really, really good. And look, we can look at all of these guys. All 4 have been selected by Joe Douglas outside of Bam Knight, who's an undrafted free agent. So it's not like we're working with like the old regime's guys, like a situation in Tennessee. New GM comes in, Derrick Henry's there, stud running back, big money running back, obviously a beast, but it's not, the GM has no ties to him. Joe Douglas selected Breece Hall. He selected Michael Carter. Again, signed Bam Knight. Selected Izzy here out of Pitt. So we'll see what happens. Again, I think for me, I still think the front runners probably Miami or Buffalo. But hey, if he joins the Jets, will we be a better team? The answer is yes, obviously. I just don't know about the price tag. That's the part that's just a little concerning. And also, Dalvin Cook potentially hitting the open market. He's going to have a massive influx of teams and agents and teams contacting him, talking about roles within the team. So he's going to have his choice of wherever he wants to go, pretty much. Not every team, obviously, but he's going to have a lot of options. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And as always, go Jets.